And bam, we're live. Good morning, everyone. Jake, Captain, Dave Attaway. Good morning, Heidi. Wow, good to see all you guys. Adam, good morning. I am here with Brett Fraser. Am I pronouncing your last name right?
That's correct, Fraser.
Fraser. He is the Chief Athlete Officer from the Enhanced Games. Before we dig in, I'm going to show you guys this trailer. Brett, I watched a bunch of interviews that you and D'Souza have done, in the past couple months. I just want you to know that there will be no hostility from me in the regards that those D-bags were hostile towards.
We can talk about it all.
Awesome. It's crazy what a charged subject this is. But let me play this trailer. I thought you guys did a fantastic job at it. And here we go.
I am the fastest man in the world. But you've never heard of me. I have broken Usain Bolt's 100-meter record, but I can't show you my face. I am a proud, enhanced athlete. The Olympics hate me. I need your help to come out. I need your help to stop hate. I need your help for the world to embrace science. Come join me in 2024 at the first Enhanced Games and see me break the world record in public.
You think 2024 is so ambitious? You think that's really going down?
We'd like to see it. I mean, that's what we're planning for. Q4 2024, December is when we're planning to have the first games. And it'll probably be an exhibition where we choose select events and have athletes that are, really trying to make a statement, breaking a world record or just vastly improving upon previous performance.
And any locations in mind?
We've conducted a site analysis exercise, and it could be anywhere from the southeastern United States over to the West Coast, or, we're entertaining several international venues as well. In the next few weeks, we're going to announce more info with regards to the exact location, but it's still very much in development right now.
Any issues with the fact that it is a free games, meaning the athletes are allowed to participate in what I think, well, first of all, is it a free games? You can come in any, I'm guessing you can't, by enhanced games, it's strictly talking about some sort of chemical or pharmaceutical enhancement. You can't wear stuff, right, to enhance you, or can you?
That's right. No. So one of the biggest questions is, I want to tie rockets to my shoes in order to run faster.
Right.
It's enhancing the human body, no accessories to the human body. In the initial fields anyway. There might be a category for cybernetics, which we introduce in the future. However, right now it's just, the human body with the standard clothing and any other tools that you would need in order to perform. But yeah, nothing that's a non-natural or machine, type of add-on to the human body.
You know what this gives me the vibe when I hear you talk like that? It gives me this kind of science fair, like if NASA was like, "Hey, if you can build a robot, you win $1 million." You know what I mean? It's got this kind of innovation, entrepreneurial, and obviously, like, you guys are pushing a sciencey vibe to it. I'm really digging it. Any issues like legally doing an event where, I mean, you've probably heard like the Arnold has been raided by the FBI, or the Mr. Universe has been raided by the FBI, right? They show up with a bunch of people and raid the hotel rooms looking for steroids that the bodybuilders are on. I mean, we all know they're on them, right?
Right.
But they're not, right? It's illegal. Any issues with that? Like doing an event in California where, let's say, Tren is illegal, but half the athletes are on it?
So we're still working through how to abide by wherever the event's taking place, to abide by the local law and work with authorities and the systems to make sure that we're doing everything correctly. The bodily autonomy that we're allowing athletes to have, it's basically to say, you're free to take whatever enhancements with medical supervision and clinical supervision in order to optimize your body to train and perform at your best. So the legal implications of it, we're going to resolve, and the safety of the games and the fairness of the games is what we're trying to put at the forefront. And those are the paramount pillars that we're hoping to operate the first games on right now.
And when you say exhibition, can you give me an idea of some of the events we would see?
Sure. So if you just think about it, like if you're going to the Olympics, which tickets are you buying? You're probably going to watch the 50-meter freestyle, the 100-meter freestyle, the 100-meter, 200-meter dash, several select gymnastic events, and some combat sports. So while we may not have, the full lineup of events, I think we're going to have what is watched the most: the short distance sprint events in track and field and swimming.
Would you have combative? I don't think the Olympics has MMA, does it? Would you guys have MMA?
Yeah, we're considering MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Those combat sports are pretty heavily watched, and I think they'll draw a very supportive crowd, and the entertainment value of those is substantial.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the pushback I've seen from people when I've seen Aaron on some podcasts and on some I don't know what you would call them, sports shows, but people talk about the safety of the athletes when in reality the safety is kind of enhanced, because I mean, are you familiar with the Abu Dhabi Combat Challenge, ADCC? It's the biggest jiu-jitsu. Okay. Like, I think it's known that, or it's accepted that 90% of the guys there are juiced to the gills. And basically what you guys are basically, what you're doing is you're setting up an environment where athletes don't have to lie, which I think is huge. And then where, since they don't have to lie, everything becomes safer. Theoretically, right?
Yes, Sevan, I mean, as it's happening now, is you have athletes that are taking substances in the dark with no understanding of how to administer these medications or therapies, how much to take, and the long-term effects of it. They're doing this without clinical supervision. So what we're trying to, and what we will be doing, is amassing a panel of doctors and scientists where athletes, if they choose to be enhanced, can consult with these medical professionals to get their opinion on, when to take it, how to take it, and what it's going to do for them. In sports today, I mean, the fairness of competition just isn't there, because you're always going to have people who are going to try to beat the system and take performance enhancements, and they're going to do this in by any means necessary. And I think that's a very unsafe practice. So we are really hoping to solve the issue with the enhancements being unsafe and misunderstood, and allowing a much more safer environment for athletes to utilize these resources.
Obviously this crowd wants this. Will there be powerlifting, Olympic lifting, clean and jerk, snatch? I mean, this crowd would love that.
There will be powerlifting. I think we're gonna have a few events that are gonna be that are not currently on the Olympic lineup right now, that I think will be really entertaining. But yes, we're gonna have weightlifting.
I mean, I guess one of the ways you could do it also is to kind of look out over the landscape of sports and see what sports are already heavily steeped in pharmaceuticals that enhance their abilities, and almost like start there, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think your question is basically to take which sports have the most high octane right now, and then put the center stage for us.
Yeah. or something like jiu-jitsu, where at the highest level it's just known that so many people are doing it. Or I don't know about, I don't want to speak about this like I know, but I think I know, like in powerlifting, none of those guys look like the guy who's deadlifting 1,000 pounds. None of those guys look like anyone, I think, who hasn't enhanced themselves.
Yeah, that's right. I think enhancements are going to influence different events. In weightlifting, we're going to see hopefully major differences, improvements upon current natural world records. I think in track and field and swimming, we're going to see more incremental, because it's not to say, like, any professional athlete and medical professional is not going to go and take, a million milligrams of whatever substance it is in order to allow them to be faster. It's going to be very nuanced treatments that doctors are going to prescribe to athletes. And then depending on the sport, I think we're going to see varying levels of improvement but significant improvement across the board in terms of the sheer performance.
This is an interesting statement. Do you know who Clarence Kennedy is by any chance, Brett?
Clarence Kennedy, the name sounds familiar.
It doesn't matter that you don't know him, but he's basically done he's a fascinating character. He's on Instagram. He's basically been very open about his journey using steroids, and he would be an awesome, and I believe he's a strong proponent of it. But he'd be an awesome I don't know what the word is, ally for you guys, or just at least someone to pick their brain. And he's crazy, hugely influential in the space because he's kind of normal. Some of these guys they kind of lose their normalcy. They start to turn into freak shows.
Involved in the industry?
Weightlifting. He's a weightlifting guy. Yeah. And I'll send you when we're off. I'll send you his Instagram and whatnot. Any limits on what you can take?
No, basically any substance or therapy is open for use. We do recommend and require the use of clinical supervision in order to take these compounds and be prescribed the compounds. So while you have freedom to take whatever you wish, you need to, and you have to consult with a medical professional in order to understand the safety of it and the application for it.
Has anyone overtly come out of the woodworks and just trying to stop you guys? Do you guys have anyone who's just besides with their mouths? Has anyone tried to litigate you guys or is messing with you guys?
No, it's been pretty interesting since the launch. We've seen, as with anything controversial and bold, both sides of the spectrum, and because no one's challenged the Olympics or this level of elite competition before, there's been a lot of, why are you doing this? This makes no sense. Is this real? And that's been most of the way for it. We haven't really seen anything, concrete yet. However, we're prepared for the battles that we know that we're going to face, and because we're challenging such a old established system with, I think, very salient points as to why it's not working anymore. We expect to be challenged, and we're prepared to face that.
Why do you think, like, when you or Aaron go on these shows, there's such a immediate hostile reaction to it? You think it's just dogma? Like they just hear, you think it's just dogma, or why the hostility?
I think it's because everyone's scared of change, and this is a major change and kind of a fresh take that we're putting on elite competition. The Olympics have worked for a while in the public's eyes. However, for athletes, and having been a former athlete myself, I know the system is broken. And there is a lot of misunderstanding between the fairness of competition and allowing athletes to have bodily autonomy by allowing them to take, whatever performance enhancements there are. So I think there's a lot of mix up between what we're actually trying to do. And we're not promoting unfair competition. We're actually trying to create a competition where everything is fair and much more fair today. People are going to continue to cheat and abuse the system, which WADA hasn't really worked, as we've seen with various documentaries and controversies over the past 10 years. So the backlash, I think, originally comes from why are you going after these clandestine organizations? Why are you challenging what is not broken? But it is broken, and we've seen by the responses and signups that we've gained since we've launched that excuse me, we do have support. And while it's going to take time to educate the public, we're happy to do that. But the initial backlash, I think, comes from just kind of a lack of understanding. And why would you ever challenge such a major organization that has been successful since the beginning of since inception?
Any thoughts of how long, let's assume this thing gets off the ground. I wonder how long before they open up a class at the Olympics that's enhanced. Do you know what I mean? If you can't beat them, join them, kind of thing.
Sure. I mean, what our hope is that class is not going to happen. It's either going to be the enhanced games and the Olympic games, or we're going to find a middle ground where we're going to address the elephant in the room, which is many athletes are doping or want to explore what the potential is of their bodies, and then open up another category, which we are developing right now. So I think maybe we're 5 or 10 years ahead of where we should be. But with the introduction of CRISPR babies and genetically modified humans, I mean, some humans are going to have a molecular advantage, in the next 5 to 10 years and thereafter. Anyway, so that's going to be the next debated topic. Should someone who's genetically modified be able to compete in a normal male and female category at the Olympics?
CRISPR baby. Januki shocked the scientific community in 2018 by announcing his team had used the CRISPR Cas9 gene editing tool on twin girls when they were just embryos, resulting in the birth of the world's first genetically modified babies. A third gene-edited child was born a year later. What's a CRISPR baby?
So basically picking and choosing which features you'd like to have in babies. So you get to create a designer baby, which may have a molecular advantage by ways of using oxygen in red blood cells more efficiently. So to that topic, we're thinking about this now going forward, because this is the future, and this is, as of a few years ago, happening.
Oh, and this is happening. Is this particular case is in China? Is that where it's all happening?
I'm not sure exactly where it's happening, but we just know it's possible. And the way that the world is trending, I mean, technology is embraced pretty much in every field other than sports. So we're understanding where the world's going, and there's a demand to view this category of enhanced sports. So yeah, we're understanding what the reality is, and creating a platform and system in order to address that.
I know this is pretty close-minded of myself, but I personally would just want to be, me thinking of just being born on planet Earth, I would just want to be born like just normal and like breastfeed off a woman and like come out through the vagina. Like I just want to, and then just, I don't know, then have the opportunity to choose. I know this is off subject a little bit, but then have the opportunity to choose whether I want to get juiced up to the gills, or how hard I want to work to train, or if I want to move to Colorado and train at elevation. God, would you want to be a baby that was tampered with?
Me personally, my opinion is no. I'd want to be born as natural as possible, and then
me too,
live a natural life, which I did as an athlete as well.
Yeah,
and then once things change, or once you start to feel a different way, and once you start to feel the effects of aging, then I'd want to understand what options are available. By way of medicine and speaking with doctors and scientists. I think this is what I would want to do. But initially, as naturally as possible, I think would be how I would want to do it.
Yeah, like look at this guy. I want to CRISPR my baby to be a 5'5" Armenian man. He's making fun of me. He's saying that like no one would genetically choose to make me. How tall are you? How tall are you, Brett?
I'm 6'2".
And how much do you weigh?
195.
Yeah. More likely in what, do you know what ethnicity you are?
So I'm mixed race. I would say it's not straight, it's black and white.
Do you know where your white side's from?
It's from Canada, but originally.
Oh, that's fucked up. Okay, that's one strike against you. And what about your black side? Do you know where that's from?
Jamaican.
Oh, okay.
Jamaican.
And where are Jamaicans? Do you know where Jamaicans from are originally?
Africa, I think. Nigeria.
Well, that's good. Nigeria is good.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in the Caribbean. My father was born in Canada, and my mother was born in the Cayman Islands.
So the CRISPR could take out his Canadian side and work with his Nigerian side, and at least you're 6'2".
I mean, I don't know. Both sides, I think, worked very well for me in the athletic field.
Fine, but I'm just telling you, me personally, I'd rather be Nigerian than.
Well, that's what we think.
Right. I mean, Nigerians are doing great in the United States, and I'm a big UFC fan.
Okay.
Where they're kicking ass. Do you watch the UFC?
Yeah, from time to time.
They got Kamaru Usman, the greatest welterweight who ever lived. Nigerian. So, tell me about, this is switching subjects a little bit too, about going to the Olympics. You went there as a swimmer?
I did.
In 2008 and 2012?
And 2021, the Tokyo Olympics, which happened in 2021.
And that puts you in some pretty rarefied air, huh? 3 Olympics?
Yes.
Can you tell me about, how old were you in 2008?
I was 18.
Holy cow. And when did you start swimming?
I learned to swim probably when I was a year old. We grew up near the beach. We had a pool, so water safety was very important. Developed a love for the water at a very young age, and then continued to develop talent in the pool, I would say seriously, at the age of 8 or 9. I remember by the age of 11, I was on a pretty intense training schedule. So yeah, I was training seriously by the age of 10.
Were your parents athletes?
My dad played football, and my mom just played recreational, like volleyball, but both very much into fitness.
And when you say your dad played football, is that American soccer or American football?
Canadian.
Canadian.
He played in college.
Wow. And and that's the one with the pads and stuff, right? Is Canadian football similar to the National Football League?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. And you were living where at the time when you lived at the beach?
I was born and raised in the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman.
How did your parents end up there in the Cayman Islands if he was a football player in Canada?
My dad visited the Cayman Islands on vacation, met my mother on a blind date, and never moved back. My mom was born and raised in the Cayman Islands.
Wow. And you have 2 other brothers?
I do.
Younger?
I'm the middle, so one older and one younger. My older brother was a swimmer as well.
Yeah, there's this picture you have here is crazy. This is at, oh shoot. Oh yeah. This is at the Olympics. And in London, and you guys are in the same race. That's 2 Frasers. That's your brother down there, right? 3 and 8.
Yep. This is the semifinal of the 100 freestyle.
Were your mom and dad there?
Yes.
Dude, that's crazy. How do you know any other brothers who competed against each other in the Olympics?
At the Olympics, the only ones that come to mind, I'm not sure if they were in the same heat or final, was the Dunford brothers, who swam at Stanford, and they are from Kenya.
Crazy. And I guess there were those, not in swimming, but the rowing event, the Facebook guys, they were brothers, right?
Yeah, the Winkle-Voss twins.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they did the rowing.
That's right.
Nuts. How much of your parents, when you were swimming at 10, how much of your swimming was kind of forced by I have 3 boys, so this is asking for myself. How much of it was kind of forced by your parents or really encouraged versus how much of it was you?
None of it was forced. It was encouraged. We played different sports: tennis, track and field, rugby, football, soccer. So we did everything. But swimming was just one that, for reasons that I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it was because me and my brother both liked it as much, and we shared that, and we just were on the same schedule. Swimming was the sport that we chose, and I saw and heard what it could do and where it could take you, and I decided to commit to that from a young age. And I wasn't as good as my older brother when I was younger, so I got to see, with dedication and persistence and success in the sport, what that could do for you. And I wanted the same thing. I wanted to become as best of a swimmer that I could, and see where that took me. So my ticket, I guess, off of the island was to become a good swimmer, go to college, study, and then see what happened thereafter in terms of a professional career in the sport.
So it could have been anything. You think you would have played sports regardless professionally, but it could have been track and field. It could have been tennis. You could have actually turned your head and focused on, you could have chased a girl into tennis or into track and field.
I think the reason why swimming stuck was because we had, on the island, we had really good and experienced coaches that came from the US. to train athletes in the Cayman Islands. So I think because of the timing and the fortune of just being at the right place at the right time, we were able to access coaches that developed our talent well.
Are you genetically predisposed to be a good swimmer? Like your height and your frame and the weight your body carries and your muscle to fat ratio and all that shit that, you know, I'm guessing they determine makes a great swimmer.
Yeah, I would say my body is a little, it's unique in the sense where my wingspan is very long for my height, relatively. And then my legs kind of have they're very flexible at the knees. So these small things, yes, I've noticed over time that I think they would have given me an advantage just because of how swimmers are composed. So yeah, there are a few things on my body where I think it's helped.
And you probably would have been great at tennis too, although maybe it's crazy to say this, is even a little short.
For tennis.
Yeah.
Interesting that you say tennis and not any other sport.
I'm sorry. Oh, my kids play tennis, and my kids are never going to be over 5'6". But we play tennis 5 days a week. We do jiu-jitsu 5 days. That's why I chose tennis. When you said you played tennis, I was like, oh, 6'2", he could be a pretty good tennis player, especially if you have a long wingspan, right?
Yep. I feel my body's been conditioned because I've spent so many hours in the pool to the sport of swimming. So once I finished swimming and retired, getting good at ball sports, and I was good at strength training just because that's a component to being a good swimmer. But, you know, hand-eye coordination was there, but just developing techniques and skills with every other sport took a while, just because you're so specialized in one.
Yeah. How many at 10 years old, how many hours a day were you in the pool?
On a busy day, I would say like 2.5 to 3. A busy day being Monday where you have 2 days. So you're up in the morning, an hour and a half. Swim practices for elite swimmers are about 2 hours long.
Say that again. Sorry.
About 2 hours long, no matter the age. So in your early teenage years, you're swimming for an hour and a half, and then that might be twice a day. And those 2 days are 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes 4.
And it's a tough practice, right? It's monotonous. Like I always hear swimmers talk about how they're just looking down at the black line, back and forth, back and forth.
That's right. Swimming's not for everyone. It's a sport where you have to put in your time. You have to put in the effort that it takes in order to develop the technique and skill, and then, you know, just continue to do that over and over and over. Swimming on your own would be really challenging. So that's why, you know, swimming in teams is, I would never train on my own. I would always have to do a practice with the team, and that makes it difficult for some people because of how monotonous, like you mentioned, is practicing can be. So yeah, it is one of those sports where you really have to love the sport, love the community, and you know, just be invested in it.
Is there a drug specifically for swimming? Like, you know, the Lance, it was the EPO for the bikers or bodybuilders. I don't know, some sort of steroid. Is there a drug that's like, you look around at your swimming buddies and you're like, yep, he's on that? Is there one?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay. Because some of those guys, not you, I mean, you look pretty muscular, but some of those guys, like Michael Phelps, didn't look like he had he looked almost skinny fat his entire career.
Well, you could say the same thing about Lance.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. You think EPO would be a good drug? Lung power is important. I guess lung power is important in swimming, especially for the longer races.
I'm not sure what would be a good enhancement for someone to take. Not a doctor, not a medical professional. But for swimming, I can tell you that if you had increased capacity for your lungs to intake oxygen, and the way that your red blood cells used oxygen, if that happened in a more efficient manner, I think that would help swimmers succeed and improve a lot in their events. Some strength here and there. So if you were to take steroids to improve certain movements and allow yourself to be stronger in the water, that may help as well. But I think basically lung capacity and use of oxygen, if you could optimize and create efficiencies around that, that would probably be the best for swimmers.
Do you think that drugs are pretty Do you think drugs are everywhere in the Olympics? Do you think it's like 50% of the athletes are on it?
I think they're prevalent. I mean, I think there are therapies right now that the World Anti-Doping Agency just cannot test for because they're so far ahead of the curve, and they're not technically illegal because they're not understood or known about. I think, yeah, I think it's really tough to understand what exactly is going on today because of how fragmented and how just kind of disassociated the testing system is.
So let me take another step at this. So to say the athletic field, especially where there's a lot of money, is absolutely not level. And the reason why it's not level is because there's lack of transparency around the conversation because of fear of going to jail. Is that a fair statement? Would you agree with that?
Fear of going to jail for?
Just like for these guys are afraid they're going to go to jail for or maybe jail is not the right word. They're afraid there's a lack, I don't know, for lying about being on the drugs or for taking illegal drugs. We could put something else besides going to jail. Afraid of complete public ridicule, right?
Well, I think there are two sides to it. I mean, I think some people may take enhancements in order to train. And they only take them during training in order to get to a level where, okay, I'm good now. I don't need to take them anymore. I have the results that I was looking for, and they continue to train, and they're clean, but they're not fully clean because they've taken something at some point in time. I think this is what has happened or is happening. The use of enhancements in competition where it's not allowed right now, it's a little more rare, but I think the enhancement happens before the testing period begins, or before the time frame where athletes are eligible to be caught.
Yeah. I don't like the situation. I don't like putting people in situations where they have to lie, where they just overtly are going to lie. You're going to take these people who are like yourself, who've been training since they've been 1 to 18 to get to their sport. And then now you're going to put them in a situation. I mean, their whole life is dedicated to this, and you're going to put them in a situation where they know other people around them are taking things to get that edge. And then you're asking them to basically all but asking them to cheat while trying to hunt them down.
There's a lot of pressure on a lot of different athletes by a lot of different people in order to perform. And athletes having basically no other option, they have to perform. And because of that pressure, they're willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. If athletes don't perform, then kind of their lives fall apart. If they don't win, they don't really have a major financial incentive as well, which is something we're trying to solve at. We're trying to create a base compensation package for athletes who are ranked at a certain level. The prize money that we're building into the events is also substantial. So athletes right now kind of are in a predicament where if they don't perform, they have less or nothing. But if they do perform, they have something, but that something's not enough for them to live a comfortable, fulfilling life after being the best or one of the best in the world.
And that's another thing that the enhanced games hope to do: increase the prize money, the lucrativeness of competition.
That's right, substantially.
Jail is the right word in a lot of European countries. Doping is illegal in France, Spain, and many others. Okay, so some places you go to jail. Maybe there's probably a country where they cut your hands off too.
There might be.
Right. Brett, when you go to the Olympics in 2008, when did you start having like Olympic aspirations? When did you be like, oh shit, this could happen?
I would say probably at summer camp, swimming summer camp, and like when I was like 10 or 11.
Wow, early.
Yeah, we had Olympians that would come in to teach us whole technique workshops, and we kind of swim along USA Olympians, and that for me was that was the motivating factor for me to, I want to make it to the Olympics. We got the whole gold medals and just interact with Olympians, which I think was great and really allowed me to paint a vision for myself of where I wanted to go. However, I understood this was a very formidable goal, a major achievement. So it wasn't probably until I was like 16 or 17 where I started to take it seriously and understood how much more work I would continue to have to do in order to make it happen in 2008, which I was relatively young for a swimmer to compete at the Olympics at 18.
Did you, in what, 2008? So I guess the internet was alive. It was just kind of getting going.
Yeah, Instagram, but I think there was, a light version of YouTube, but still very much, journalists covering stories that are going to mass media.
And you probably at that where I was going to go with this is in 2008. I like now I could go online and fucking get any drug I want. I don't know anyone who was doing that shit in 2008, like going online and just ordering drugs and having them sent to their house. But did you ever consider, hey, what advantages can I get? Did you ever consider going online? I mean, I guess you couldn't do it. Did you ever think, were you ever approached by anyone? Hey, you need to do this illegally to go to the Olympics?
No, I was not approached by anyone, and I didn't really have a desire to kind of enhance my body at the time. I wanted to be a natural athlete, and I chose to be a natural athlete. And I think a hypothetical scenario would be is towards the end of my career, if I was hitting a plateau or became stagnant in my training and competition, it would be good to understand from medical professionals what could be, what could help me continue to improve and excel and perform, in a more powerful manner. But back in the day when I was young, I didn't, it was just all the natural stuff. But the natural stuff I'm describing as, like a creatine, the BCAAs. So, I abided by all of WADA's rules and took only what was allowed. But, who gets to say what's allowed and what's not allowed? Why is creatine allowed? Why are certain substances on the ban list? Why are certain substances not on the ban list? So it's, there's a lot of ambiguity between what is and what isn't.
When after the 2008 Olympics, were you like, oh my God, I made it, this is great? Or was there a disappointment,
No, it was not a disappointment. I made it there.
Awesome.
I spent the best time there. I went back and I said, in 4 years, I want to be performing or competing at the Olympics in a much different way than I went to my first time. It was very motivating. You got to swim among the best in the world. You got to be among the best athletes in the world. And I went back to college and put my head down for 4 years and understood what I wanted to do at the London Games.
How close were you to not qualifying in 2012? Was it competitive getting to represent your country?
It's always competitive, but I was fully qualified to the highest standard. While my country didn't hold Olympic trials because we're too small, we don't have that many athletes. I had to qualify to an international standard, which was the FINA A cut. FINA is the governing body for swimming. Basically, if you have an A cut in your event, you're automatically allowed to participate. If you have a B standard, that means that's conditional, and you have to wait to see how many people, how many people swim faster than you do, and what that ranking is. And then at a time, which is about a month and a half or a month before the Olympics, they release who from the B standards are going. But if you have an A standard, you're automatically going, and it's a rule of thumb. Basically, an A standard means you're about top 15 to 20 in the world, depending on the event. And
you went in with the A standard?
Correct.
Oh, badass. And so you go to 2012 Olympics, and now you're 22.
Yes.
And how was that one? Was that one satisfying?
Very satisfying. As any athlete, as they go about their career, competition, yes, the Olympics is the biggest competition. It's the stage where you have to perform. It's where the most pressure is. It has the most prestige. Everyone's going to be watching. But the lead-up competitions to this also give you that environment to practice in. So I knew that once the Olympics came back around again, I needed to treat it like it was the most important business meeting in my entire life. So I used every single competition in college and internationally, World Championships, Commonwealth Games, to continue to kind of refine my racing skills. So once the Olympics came back around, with the training that I had put in and where I've developed my body and training to be, I'd be ready to go. So Like anything that someone becomes really good at, it takes a lot of practice. So that's what I understood that I needed to kind of master well before 2012 in order to perform there without, for me, that's the type of preparation that I wanted to take on before the game. So I felt very prepared going into London.
How many races did you do in 2008?
1.
And how many races did you do in 2012?
3.
So you got in the water 3 times in 2012.
More than 3 if you count the semifinals.
Wow. Congratulations. Holy shit. And then 9 years later, you went again to the Olympics. When you were done in 2012, were you kind of like bye and like kiss the ground and kiss the pool and then
bye? I was done.
Yeah.
I didn't want to smell chlorine or see a pool again.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, very thankful for the experiences and the network and the, everything that swimming had gotten me up until thus far. So I was just, I had done it since such a young age, and I was just ready to have some distance from the sport. So moved up to New York, got a job, worked in finance, did the, kind of regular thing. And that
you
was
left
all.
the Cayman Islands to go to New York?
Well, I left the Cayman Islands to go to Gainesville, Florida, to the University of Florida when I was.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. I saw that on your wiki. Yep.
So, and then after I retired, I moved up to New York and kind of started life over. Got a job in finance and just worked. Just wanted a steady, regular lifestyle. I have always missed competition in sport of swimming. Sometimes training is really tough. So I have varying. It varies from time to time whether I want to train for swimming or not. But competing, I would always want to compete, and that's what I missed about swimming. And when I figured the time was right, or there was another opportunity coming up, I considered competing at the Rio Olympics, but my heart wasn't in the sport, and it was very clear at that time. So I decided, let's just continue to work, and I guess there would be one more chance to swim at the Olympics if it came up, which would be in 2020. And 2019, I kind of toyed with the idea, and in the middle of the year in 2019, I decided to jump in, get back into training, and give Tokyo a real shot. Which I didn't win a medal in 2012, but that was the plan. In order to go back and train for another Olympics, the goal here is to win a gold medal. So mentally and physically, I maintained my strengths while I wasn't swimming during the 7-8 years were London Olympics and Rio Olympics in between those. So it wasn't too hard to get back into swimming shape. I mean, once you build a technique and once you master the technique of swimming, it's really hard to forget. And I maintained that over the years. And when I was ready to get back into full swing training, it took about 2 or 3 months to get back up to speed and then improve.
So 2008, 2012, you go to the Olympics, you take some time off. What was the longest you didn't go into the pool? Did you ever go a year without swimming?
Between that time period? Yeah, years.
Without ever going into a pool period?
I mean, going into a pool, but not like going in for exercise, not moving my body like I would during training.
Just like how I go into a pool, like at a hotel with a margarita in my hand?
Similar. I mean, I jump into a pool and people are always like, let's swim, let's race. I'm like, not right now. I'm done. Like, I kind of just want to enjoy trying to be in chlorine without too many memories. But yeah, years went by. I would say, there was at least one full year, 365 days, where I did not touch the water or was in the water for exercise.
When you go to the first Olympics and you only get to get in the pool once, are you disappointed? You're like, fuck, this is bullshit. I worked so hard. I only got to go in the pool once. They should let me go in at least 3 times. People work so hard to get here. No,
I mean, I understood that going to the Olympics, you have to, in certain events, it's semifinal, it's prelims, semifinals, finals, which I swam the 200 backstroke in Beijing, so it would have been 3. I understood that you have to be good in prelims, you have to be good in semifinals, and you have to be the best in finals. So coming in at such a young age, I was just happy to be there. I wanted to obviously perform as best as I could, but it was unrealistic given the age and where I was at the time to perform, with exceeding the unrealistic expectations. I was very happy with what I was able to accomplish in 2008.
Okay, so pardon me while I talk to my friends for a second in the chat. Listen, see, he's not a pussy. Just quit complaining about the cuts. The cuts conversation has been going on for more than a week in the CF space and seems to me like it won't stop anytime soon. Listen, the cuts are fine. I cover the CrossFit Games quite thoroughly, and the CrossFit Games are coming up, and people are upset that there's going to be cuts. And there's going to be
cuts, meaning that people are getting they're trimming down the roster.
Yes, sir. So 40 men will show up and 40 women. They'll do, and no one knows the number of events, but we're speculating though there will be 6 events, and then the bottom 10 will get sent to the beer garden, and then there'll be another 6 events, and then the next bottom 20% will get sent to the beer garden, and then we'll finish the last, however many events there are with just the 10 best or 20 best guys. And I think that's fine. But people are always making like these emotional appeals. Oh, they work so hard to get there. We're not really going to find out who the best is. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's a competition at the end of the day. I mean, numbers don't lie. So pretty simple.
Good morning, Blade. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, 1.75 speed. That's fine. Slow it down a little bit. 1.5. I don't want you to miss anything. And then, so 1 time in the pool to 4 times in the pool to in 2021, you actually think you're going to get a medal, or does anyone ever kind of try to dash your dreams? They're like, hey, dude, you already made it once to the Olympics, or dude, you're too old. 2021, are you crazy? Or do people in your ear?
People will have opinions about everything. People will talk about everything as long as humans are around. They're, human topic, and anyone that's trying to do something that goes against the status quo or that is bold, I think will always be talked about. I had no problem continuing to do what it is that I wanted to do, because I was doing this for myself, not anyone else. So if this is something that I wanted to do, it's going to happen. And if other people in my country benefit from the success I'm able to achieve, then that's great. But I'm not doing it for people that are, continuously trying to downplay your aspirations. After making the semifinal in 2 events at the London Games, I wanted to make a final, and I wanted to give myself a shot at winning a medal. And that's why I went back to Tokyo. I thought I was going to be done after London, but because there was just the right confluence of events right before 2020, I decided to jump back in the pool and give myself that shot that I wanted. And then the pandemic happened, another wrench in the system where my training got interrupted because of the pandemic, like everyone's lives did as well. So I was very confident going into the games that the event of focus, which was the 100-meter freestyle, I would have been able to give myself that chance. Should things have gone differently with the pandemic.
It's kind of funny too. They did an experimental drug test on the entire planet Earth. They forced my kids aren't allowed to attend school unless they take 76 shots. And yet you're worried about grown-ass adults taking some performance-enhancing drugs and wanting to get together and compete and see what human beings are actually capable of. It's fucking mind-boggling. And I bet you the people who are most against it are those people who insist my kids take untested, untried, untrue drugs in order to attend school.
It's also just shocking to me what medications are allowed to be taken in competition right now. You can take pretty much any opioid. You can take.
You can.
I don't believe opioids are banned out of competition. I need to double check if they're banned in competition, but I'm pretty sure they're not. So it's interesting to see, teenagers being prescribed these concentration medications that have amphetamines in them with no long-term studies. So it's kind of backwards, and it's very misaligned with, athletes, you're allowed to take this and not allowed to take that. Some athletes have therapeutic use exemptions where they are allowed to take what others can't as well.
Crazy. How did you end up doing in 2021?
I swam the 50-meter freestyle. I was originally going to swim the 100 and the 50 with a focus on the 100. I think I didn't make the semifinal. I think I placed 24th or between 24th and 30. Can't remember exactly. But once they delayed the Olympics, I knew it was going to be a whole different game, because the setup that I had going into when the original date was scheduled for Tokyo was a whole different training environment that I had to continue to support for that year of the delay.
But you did have the goal to win a medal, and you didn't have that goal the first 2 times you went?
I had that goal the second time that I went. The first time that I went was the mindset that I had. However, being realistic and understanding where I was in my training, I knew it likely wasn't going to happen at that time. But in the next 4 years, when I came back as a 22-year-old, the tools that I had access to, I knew that being in training with other Olympic gold medalists every single day, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to develop these skills on my own, and in 4 years come back and try to make that shot at a medal happen.
Do you play pickleball?
I've played pickleball, I think, once or twice. Yeah.
And where are you living now, Brett?
I'm in Miami, Florida.
Oh, okay. And is it this guy Aaron? Is it D'Souza or Aaron Souza?
Aaron D'Souza.
D'Souza. Is he related to Dinesh by any chance? I
don't believe so.
Okay. Do you know who that is? Dinesh D'Souza?
Yes.
The filmmaker. Okay. Aaron doesn't. Neither you or Aaron look like you are partaking in any chemical enhancements. I mean, for all I know, maybe you're like me and you're taking some peptides, BPC 157 in your arm. But what is Aaron's the founder of the Enhanced Games?
That's correct.
And what is his inspiration, his motivation?
Aaron's very good at solving problems, and I think he understands that the current setup of the IOC and how the Olympics are run is a inefficient, corrupt, misaligned organization that basically exploits athletes and feeds those at the top in the management, on the management side of things, and athletes who sacrifice their entire lives and careers to be the best in the world, benefit for that. So this is a problem solve, and Aaron's really good at identifying where corrections need to happen, no matter how controversial they are, and then creating solutions and solving those problems.
What's his sport? What's he play?
I think Aaron played rugby formerly. But
shit.
He's an avid sports fan as well. So, it's not to say that, someone from the outside, it actually might be better from someone, who isn't intimately involved with sports to come in, diagnose the problem, bring a fresh perspective into a field where, they have understanding of, but need to gain further understanding. I think that's a really good way to approach solving problems. It brings in fresh perspective and ideas and thoughts and efficiencies that those who are steeped in or having just intimate involvement for too long overlook.
Yeah, I hear you. In one of the interviews, he said that he would like to compete also in the Enhanced Games. Was that in rugby?
We're not having rugby at the Enhanced Games, but I think he just meant to say, like, this is going to be an exciting venture, and given the right circumstances, he'd be willing to compete himself. Would
you compete?
I haven't considered it. I would, I'd love to get the first games to a level where it's a lot of entertainment value. People are watching, and we've really created something here. I haven't thought about competing. I still do love to compete. However, at this point of my career, I think building a better model for athletes is what I'm most passionate about over competing.
And you don't have to be enhanced to compete either. It's not the right. Anyone can go there. You don't have to be enhanced. You can be like, hey, I want to go against these guys who are enhanced, and show them that you don't have to be enhanced and you can go compete there.
That's exactly correct. And that's what I'm very excited to see. I mean, because of the financial incentives, I really want to see natural athletes come to the Enhanced Games and develop a much more competitive competition environment, because if you have natural athletes who are the best in the world that will still go back to compete at the Olympics, and then you have new wave of athletes that are competing against the best in the world, then that I think allows for greater competition and a much more competitive environment, which develops sports, develops competition. So yeah, non-enhanced athletes are welcome. Natural athletes are very much encouraged to participate. And I think for natural athletes to beat enhanced athletes, initially, that's kind of that says something as well to are enhancements the right way to approach sports.
How did you meet Aaron?
Aaron and I met during the pandemic down in South Florida about 3 years ago.
Just like at a Starbucks, or was it a meeting set up? Were you applying for a job, or was it just a random?
No, we have. I think our networks kind of collided a few times, and just at events or dinners, we kind of came into contact with each other, kept in touch, and figured out how we can help each other, and just started building a relationship. And he approached me with this idea about 7-8 months ago, and we thought a lot about it since. And I think this is something that the world could use, and athletes could use as well.
And do you know about his litigation with Gawker?
Yes.
What an incredible story, right? When I saw that, I just saw that yesterday on his bio on the Enhanced Games website. It's on the our team's leadership page, and this is incredible. Have you ever got to sit down with him and him just like tell you? Here he is, right here, guys, on the left hand side. Dr. Aaron D'Souza, PhD. What's he a PhD in? Do you know?
His PhD comes from his studies at Oxford.
Oh, in law? He's in intellectual property law. Holy shit, smarty pants. Led Peter Thiel's successful litigation against Gawker Media involving the wrestler Hulk Hogan. What a fascinating case. Have you ever just got to sit down and hear like the 3-hour version of that?
Yeah, I have. It's a really interesting story. I think they're making a movie about it that's set to release soon. So it's a pretty big deal, and that is a very interesting story. And I encourage people to read it, because it is certainly interesting.
Yeah, what a beast. My take of the story is Peter was dating this dude, and Gawker outed this dude for being gay, and Peter's like, dude, the guy hasn't even fucking told his parents yet. What are you assholes doing? And so then later on, Gawker released a sex tape of Hulk Hogan, and Peter's like called Hulk up and was like, yo, these assholes fuck with me. I got your back if you want to go to war with them. And Hulk's like, yeah. And then Peter fucking got Aaron in the gang to beat Gawker down for outing Hulk Hogan like they outed his homeboy. Is that the premise?
Right. I mean, I think that's correct. I think that was, if anyone, respects their privacy and someone violates that, I think any natural person would do that.
Yeah. I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with it. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. God, when is that movie coming out? Is it actually in production?
I think it's in production right now. The name of it, I'm not sure, but I think if you Google, Gawker litigation movie, there might be some pieces that come up online.
God, that's awesome. I would love to hear. Aaron must have some fascinating, hilarious, and very tense stories. And Hogan, that put Gawker out of business, right?
It did, yes.
Yeah, it was the nail in the coffin for him. Don't
That's
fuck
right.
with the guy who has $1 billion sitting in a temple in San Francisco. He will fuck you up. Crazy. And Hogan did good. He got out of it good, right?
Yeah, it was a win-win for everyone except Gawker.
Yeah, for flapping their jaw.
That's right.
Yeah, nuts. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on. If there are any athletes that I can help promote, if you ever want to come on again and talk about the events, where it's going to be, I'd love to talk to you. It's a really cool project you're embarking on. There are two things, if I could just give just a tiny bit of feedback. There was an interview that Aaron said, science is about peer-reviewed evidence. I would just like to encourage Aaron to look into that, because it's actually peer review evidence has nothing to do with science. It's actually the downfall of science. I think, and he was in a pressure situation, but science is about predictive value. And unfortunately, peer-reviewed science is what's destroyed science. It's why we ended up with the so-called pandemic. It's why there's an FBI thing saying that these 50 FBI guys saying that someone's guilty and then everyone believes it. Peer review is a popularity contest. It's what got it's what actually started the slave trade, started the Jewish Holocaust, started the Armenian genocide, started the witch hunts in Salem. Peer review is just horrible. And so I would just like to I would just like him to rethink that line of what science is. And then also on your guys' website, there's I see some woke stuff on there that I just don't think is necessary. I don't think that you guys need to pull in the race card into this. It kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. But
yeah, so we really appreciate the feedback. If you don't mind, just sending me a short note so that we can acknowledge this and continuing to refine our model and how we look appearance online. We do appreciate your support, and would love
always
to podcasts with you as we continue to build out the company.
Awesome. Hey, pleasure to meet an overachiever and such a fantastic human being like yourself. And please tell Aaron thank you for what he's doing, and I look forward to crossing paths with you guys again.
Thanks so much, Sevan. Great talking to you. We'll speak soon.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Sevi, you're welcome to come back. First, let me go hard and ass pound you. Wow. I'm thorough in my investigation, and I just didn't like those two. There's some woke shit on there that's fucking completely preposterous that they don't need to talk about. And peer review as a benchmark for science is idiocy. Complete idiocy. Nice job standing your ground, Sevi. Thank you. Finally. Good. Thank you. Look at why is it for every 3 negative comments, there's finally someone who's like, good job, Sevi. Thank you. He switched to corporate mode at the end there. Well, he was vacillating back and forth, which I kind of liked. Like when we talked about his Olympics, he used a different voice as opposed to when we talked about the enhanced games. I'm really excited for him and Aaron. What a fun project. Fucking badass. Dude, how about yesterday with Abigail Domit? Oh my goodness. I was ready to abandon that with our connection. It was driving me nuts. Heidi, stop. So nice to quick to burn a bridge right before he left. I wasn't burning a bridge. I wasn't burning a bridge. I just wanted him to know. You can't, if you're going to come on here with the woke shit, I'm going to probably have to mention it to you if it's on your, nah, that's not true. I've seen it on other people's sites, but I really like this guy. I wouldn't have given the feedback if I didn't like him. Vittorio, about time you stand up to a guest about something you believe, Sevi. Way to stop being a bitch. Great. Dickhead. Fuck. I hope you fall off that rope. Oh, glad you stuck the donut interview out. I know, me too. I really like her. There's something like she's like plain Jane and hot at the same time, and she's like a woman and like a little kid at the same time. She's always smiling like a little kid. Like she always, like there's something like a little mischievous about her, but fun and cool, lighthearted. She's cool. I probably will say this to you guys like 20 times. I apologize. Some of you are going to get tired of hearing it, but if there's anyone who needs to be on the podcast between now and the games, and they're an individual athlete or an individual athlete's coach, even, I don't know if I can say that. I better ask Souza. You should reach out to me if you want to be on the show. I think I've reached out to everyone. I meant to reach out to everyone. The only person I haven't reached out to directly is Katrin. And I would love to have her on too, but I'm just trying to be sensitive. And there is a chance, and there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing this. I would have done this anyway, but I'm really pushing this because I suspect there's a chance that the behind the scenes might be going down this year. And I want to test the waters with every single person. I've tried to get Clarence Kennedy on. You sent me one last night. Did you text me, Philip, or right now I'm just doing individual athletes, and maybe their coaches. I that's a good. I've never had Carolyn Lambre on the show, and I am super excited about having her on. Let me see if I think Sousa's the 925 number. I should just put his phone number in this phone. Of course, my phone's fucked up. Of course. Let me see if we can do. No, it's not. It's not about being a baby. Uh-oh. What happened to? Can you guys hear the phone? Is it ringing? Oh, there we go.
You reached Matt.
No answer. No. Sevan, quit being a baby. Just message her. What if she's waiting for you to hit her up instead of going through a queue? No, it's not. It's not like that. I don't think. I'm not being a baby. I'm not being a baby. I'm not being a baby. I would take it. If I was, I think I would take it. It's not that. I'm trying to be there's some I'm trying to God, what's the right? I'm trying to stay. This isn't a good metaphor. This is going to be taken wrong, but I'm just trying to stand in line. You know, there's a queue and I'm trying to stand in it. But it's not really that there's a line. It's just that there should be I believe there should be a sensitivity to that I believe there should be a sensitivity to it. What is Melissa saying? Caroline. I mean, I didn't see what she wrote before that. There, I did reach Caroline Stanley is, I think, getting scheduled today, if that's who you're talking about. I didn't ask Fraser on. I could ask Fraser on. Right now, we're so packed. Do you think I should ask Fraser on? I could text him Matt now. That's actually not a bad idea. I didn't even think of that. Fraser. Matt. Is Matt Fraser with one T or two T's? I better not fuck this up. I think it's one. Oh shit! I went to a Matt Fraser with 130 followers. That can't be our Matt, right? Isn't it trippy that guy's name is Brett Fraser? I can't even find Matt Fraser on Instagram. M-A-T, is it Matthew Fraser? Oh, Matthew Fraser. Holy shit, Matt has 2.4 million followers. My goodness. Wow, this is a his Instagram is, look at this. I wonder how much it costs to like get one of these spots. Like Go Wad, Athletic Brew, Bean, Fitter. Oh, he's got more even. Levels, Metcon. Oh, This Old Barn. I did watch that whole series, This Old Barn. That thing was amazing. Okay, 1T. Matt, we'd love to have you on the podcast. It's weird that I've never been on a text thread with him and Sousa. There were no. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Caden Mavity. Philip, why would I have that guy on? Did that guy qualify for the games? I don't recognize that
I think
name.
that guy's a minor.
Yeah, dude. I said you have to. Here's the problem. We have so many. We're trying to do like 80 interviews in the next 2 weeks. It's fucking absolutely nuts. There's no like Caden Mavities. There's no room for Caden Mavities. Sorry. But
Yeah,
thank you.
sorry, not a lot of.
Yeah, send me that. Send me that after the games. Hey, what about coaches? I just sent Matt Fraser a text. And we got Carolyn Lambre, but I was also thinking about Adam Knifer.
Yeah, we should get them all loaded up. I think so. We got another. We just got Jay Crouch scheduled as well, and then we have 2 more lines in the water. We got Paige Semenza and Caroline Stanley.
Yeah.
Who will be scheduled, and there's still a handful of slots. So that's a great idea. I think maybe Adam Knifer, Ben Smith.
Oh, Ben. Okay.
Fraser, if we get them. Who else? We already had Torres, Kotler recently.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay, so we have been doing some coaches. We could also do try to get El Haj.
Yeah, Max would be great. Yeah. So Ben, Max, Adam, Fraser. That'd be awesome.
Okay. We could get Shane.
We
could get Shane Toomey on too, maybe.
Yeah. Get Shane. That'd be great.
All right. Is Khalifa coaching? Look at. Is Khalifa coaching? No. What's wrong with you guys? Are you guys not? Don't participate in the conversation. Everyone stop. Christ.
Hey, how do you think that went with Brett?
It was good. It got squirrely just once or twice. I don't think he liked the fact that I like Nigerians over Canadians.
I don't think so either. And then I don't know if he was fond of your feedback there at the end.
There's some woke shit on there was annoying the fuck out of me. They're basically saying that the word doping is racist. It's like, fuck off.
Oh,
just fuck off.
Oh my God.
But that guy Suze is a beast, dude. Anyone who would litigate that Gawker story is fascinating to me. Peter Thiel's such a beast.
Oh yeah, we need to get him on just to break that down.
Yeah, Aaron would be awesome to have on. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah. That would be a good one.
Yeah, that's what I kind of got in trouble with, because I had postulated that someone was. I guess you have to be really sensitive about people's sexuality, like outing them.
Oh.
But definitely can't. Yeah. Anyway, so then Hulk Hogan. That. Do you know the story?
No, I mean just from what I heard. There's 5 minutes ago.
There's some radio DJ on the East Coast. His name's Bubba the Love Sponge, and he let I think he let Hogan bang his wife, and then there was a video got out of it. And then so Peter Thiel said, "Hey, I'll help you sue Gawker," and I want to say it got like upwards of $300 million. The decision.
Wow.
And put Gawker out of business and made Hogan rich.
How does that work? Like, did that guy even have that much money to pay them, or did that just basically financially ruin it so they can't do shit anymore?
Great question. I don't know how that works.
You know, like, you sue me for $5 million or you sue me for $100 million. If you can't pay it, what happens?
Hey, Jeez Louise says you should have told him you identify as black. You don't get it. I don't identify as black. I am black, and game recognized game. He knew it. I don't need to tell him.
Does Jeez Louise realize the racial undertones in that comment alone?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of offended by that. Can you imagine?
You should be.
Asking a black guy if he identifies as black. Asshole.
You're just trying to live out your truth.
Douche.
So
I can't have a retail experience without being concerned that someone thinks I'm stealing. I finally realized that about myself at 51. The retail experience to me as a black man is fucking atrocious.
And I want you to know that.
But I do want you to know that
your fault.
No, it is my fault.
It's not your fault.
No, it actually is.
It's not your fault.
I am actually. So I'm I'm advanced for my situation. I do realize it's between my ears. That is the good thing. I take responsibility. It's cool, right?
That's weird, because then I would feel like then you might be able to have some level of control over it.
I'm trying. For acknowledgement, first acknowledge
good.
it. First acknowledge it.
Yeah. Acknowledgement is the first step.
Is Nick Matthew coming on? I don't think we've heard back from Nick.
No, there's a handful of them that haven't got back yet.
Heidi says that's because you're
And-
stealing. Oh, I don't know why that matters.
It's not stealing. It's under $1,000.
Yeah.
Come on, Heidi. This is
What
California.
does that matter?
Get it together.
All right. Yeah, I thought that went good. I thought that I was a little concerned that guy didn't know what he was going to be getting himself into, but I thought fucking Brett was awesome.
Yeah, he handled himself very well. He's media trained for sure.
So tomorrow,
I mean that in a good way.
I took it in a good way. Do we have anyone on tonight?
Negative.
So tomorrow, Carolyn Lambre, Manon Anganese, Alex Gazan, Saher Kai, Rebecca Vidison. The next day, Bronislavsky, Spencer Panchik, Jelly Hosty, Taylor and the JR Show, Arthur Semenoff, Kelly Baker, Shelby Neal, Ariel Lowen. Oh, we got Shelby Neal?
Mm-hmm.
God, she's cool as shit. I can't believe we got her. That's dope.
Yeah, we have like 27 of them in total. I'm including the 3 we did yesterday in Henrik in that number.
Okay. Oh, we got Paige Powers.
Yep.
Jay Crouch,
Luke
Emily
Parker.
Rolfe. Oh my God, Tuesday night's gonna be crazy. I'm really looking forward
Will
to meeting
Morad.
Emily Rolfe. Oh, Will Morad, old school. Luke Parker, yeah, I saw him. James Sprague. Wow. Oh my God,
Yep.
Oh yeah. Saturday night's the Gaethje Poirier fight. Not this Saturday, the following Saturday. That's gonna be conflict of interest for sure that night.
Why, do we have people Saturday night?
No, but I'm sure we're gonna need them.
Yeah, because we're running out of slots. If you look, there's probably 5 more slots left inside our normal scheduling windows. And we have at least 6 or 7, and I'm carrying something, so don't people make weird comments on voices like this. So they all get, yeah.
Hey, you know how there's a Greg Glassman in our comments?
Yes.
Well, you know what's so
And
funny?
Cave Dastro.
So that there's people who are telling people that you saw that, right? There's people who are there's people who are telling people that Greg and Sevan and Dave are in the comments of the show. And there's people, significant people in the community believing it.
It's been peer reviewed.
Yeah, that is what peer review is. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we saw it. Everybody agreed, reviewed it, peer reviewed.
It's not even Dave Castro, it's Cave Castro.
Cave Dastro.
Oh, Dastro. Oh shit. See, it's idiots like me that can't read. That's why it's all fucked up. And look, Greg Glassman just switched the G's around too, the same as Dave. Cave Dastro.
Just switch the G's
Greg
around.
Glassman switched the G's around. All right.
Hilarious. All right.
I got to tell you about this
Good
diet.
stuff.
This diet I'm doing.
Oh boy, why the diet? What's going on?
I'm trying to look good for the games. I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm trying to fit into all my clothes that I want to wear.
Oh yeah, you gonna pop the top while you're out there?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just don't want to be pulling my,
Well-
you can't see it, but there's this thing where you pull your shirt off your stomach all the time. If you got it like a fupa. And so I'm trying to lose my fupa. So I don't have to do this off my sweaty gut the whole time I'm working. And I'm going to be wearing these leather straps and it's going to suck my shirt down to me. And I don't want to, I just don't want to, everyone just looks at everyone and makes a quick assessment. And I just want it to be, he's old and short, not he's old and short and fat.
Ah, yes.
You know what I mean? I'm
Okay.
trying to mitigate where I can, the damages.
Right.
The damages.
So what's the diet?
I don't want to tell you. I'll tell you what the diet is. I heard a CrossFit athlete recently talking about they knew they had an eating disorder when they did this. And I was like, oh shit, that's what I'm doing.
All right. Well,
I'm like, fuck.
let's hope it doesn't turn into anything more, huh?
I don't want to lose weight too fast though. So because that'll make you look even older. Like my eyes get sunken in and shit. No,
Yeah, you gotta hit that Goldilocks weight.
yeah. Yeah, thank you. Well, the one banana, no, I'm not doing that. That shit was crazy. Heidi, don't. I can't wait to give Sevi a big hug. Heidi, listen. If you get close to me, fucking Jeremy's gonna throw you over the fence. You're gonna land on top of Judy.
Yeah, you're gonna be mysterious.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be so mysterious. It might be like you're not even there at all.
I'm so fucking insecure about like anyone like seeing me, smelling me. I don't wear deodorant. I'm gonna be sweaty, and you don't just walk by me and just say asshole. That's it. That's fine. Oh shit, Jeremy!
Am I gonna have to come get you?
Jeremy will also be hugging me. Oh, all right. Fuck.
Well, he's security, so makes sense.
All right. Yeah, exactly. That's my diet. This chocolate dick that Hiller got me. I'm slowly. This is the only thing I'm eating for the next week.
Perfect. Game's ready.
Heidi, we should actually talk. Are we utilizing Heidi? We should actually talk about that too, by the way.
Well, we should first kind of organize the jobs and see where we need people to fill in at, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stuff.
I can think of 2 things she can do just right off the top of my head.
Well, let's be appropriate here, okay?
Oh, right.
You like that? That was a good one.
It's perfect. Robbie says, can Sevi and Jeremy hug Heidi at the same time?
Okay, it's getting weird.
Can I give you Knuckles? Yeah, Knuckles is good. Oh, you should. Well, Jake Chapman, you should wear big nose glasses and a mustache disguise. Fucking brilliant.
Oh man. Hey, so we should put up a poll. How many people have done the rabbit hole on the Hibler channel to watch all his videos since he's been on?
Oh, that's good. We'll have Caleb set that up tomorrow night.
Yeah. Has anybody dared to venture down the rabbit hole?
I watched like 2 flat earth ones, and I watched the Michael Jackson one. I had my fill.
Yeah. That's what I watched before him. I haven't gone back since.
Oh, and maybe one more. There was one more, but it was basically a flat earth one. Oh shit. Pool boy. Sevi, have a kissing booth. I'll run it with Heidi. We will slay. That's not a bad idea. Hey, you know what else? I was thinking some sort of like photo booth. Is Paper Street Coffee having a booth at the games?
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like they're not this year. Like Gabe's didn't do it, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Hope he's got a little spot.
I could call Gabe too. It would be cool to set up like some sort of photo booth and take pictures of every single person with the CEO shirt.
Like it's just a photo booth of them in a CEO shirt, or are you gonna go down there and
No, just them. I'm gonna be fucking I'm gonna be a bit too busy talking to
take a picture by yourself.
I'm gonna be too busy talking to Shelby Neal.
I'm curious as to see what like are we gonna catch Abby throwing up? That's gonna be the big ticket item right there.
Yes, we are. Oh shit. Cave Dastro, OnlyFans needs a booth at the games.
OnlyFans.
Pool boy could do activations all weekend. Wow. Hey, OnlyFans has a booth. They have a booth at the games, and then they have these little changing closets where you go in and make your first video. And Pool boy directs it.
Yeah, like a representative helps you through it.
Yeah.
Like, no, here you gotta use this angle, change the lighting like this, use this camera. Okay, you're good to go.
Heidi wants everyone to know I do have a boyfriend. Let it be known.
I thought that was old news. Oh, she's referring to the kissing booth, probably, huh?
Yeah.
I'm
trying.
A little possessive.
Christine, you should have Dave on again before the games and Boz. Hey, I'm trying, just so you know.
We're doing what we can. I feel like if we do get one of those, it's just going to pop up randomly.
Yeah.
Like I'll get a call from you and you'll be like, 1 p.m., we're going. We're live. Schedule it. Okay.
Oh shit! Listen to this. Listen to this. Jake Gazan just made a comment. Hey Sevan, I'm not working for Clydesdale in the Coliseum. I have a seat at the finish line. If you need videos there, let me know. Jake.
Yes, we do.
I am texting you, shooting 4K, and I'm putting Matt Souza on here, and I'm saying yes, we need that footage. Sent. Text sent. That's dope, dude. That is awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, do people realize yet?
No, they're going to though.
That we just kept that 2 years ago we said we weren't here to win or be a player, that we were just here to just fucking take the whole entire thing over. And have they scrolled through all the upcoming shows and realized we've done something or are doing something in these next 2 weeks that just most people wouldn't even fathom. You'd probably bring the idea up and they would have shot it down right away. You can't do that. No, that'd be crazy.
Everyone in the
comments didn't even skip a beat.
Everyone in the chat knows.
Yeah. Those are the ride or dies.
And the sort of the cheerleaders. They're our testosterone. They're our cheat.
They're our oxygen.
Yeah.
They keep us going.
All right, brother. Thank you. I will call you soon. I'm gonna go play tennis before it gets too hot here.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Matthew Souza, executive producer of the Sevan Podcast. Is it too late to get on the Sevan train? No. To train? Is it too late to get on? No. Train. It's never too late. I don't know what the Sevan train is, but yeah. 22,700 subscribers. It's not 22 million. 10 a day. That's all I asked. Oh, great. Look what Souza did. We aren't surprised, says Heidi. We expect greatness from you guys. Oh, great. All right. Thanks, guys. That was fun. That was interesting. It's going to be like just massive CrossFit from here on out. I'm a little... I'd like to do some stuff that's not CrossFit in the next 2 weeks, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. Franco, I have sent my application to work for the Sevan Podcast. I haven't received a reply. Where did you send it? Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Jessica. The thing is this. I'll tell you, there's a couple things. It's amazing how many people don't understand social nuance. I don't know what it is, if it's social media or YouTube or yeah, where's Plumber? Maybe it's I don't want to. Or maybe it's just I'm super hyper judgmental when it comes to people like who are very close to me. There's a certain expectation I have of the way how I don't know how to explain it. I'll have to work on it. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I mean, I do know what I'm trying to say, but Eric Utley, how does the Army PSYOP girl get 206,000 subscribers in less than a month, and this awesome podcast has only 22,000? I offered to sponsor, but no reply either. You offered to sponsor what? Please, offer again. Jesus. You guys, I've completely lost the war in my DMs. If you're DMing me, it's like a 1 in... There's thousands. Look at it. It says 11 on here. There's not 11. There's over 1,000 unopened everywhere. And I'm opening them constantly, nonstop, all day long. And I just can't keep up. It says right now that there's 18 in my general and 16 in my primary. And those numbers aren't right. There's 1,600 in my primary and 1,000 in my general. And my requests are out of control too. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to. I want to. Wow. There's a guy named Frank Manassian in my requests. That's really your last name? Frank Manassian? Oh, this guy looks like a CrossFitter. What the fuck? Oh my God. You guys won't even fucking believe this. I have to show you this before I get off. FRNCK. Holy shit. You guys are going to fucking have a field day with this. If you can see a screen, you better get close to it. I cannot believe this is a real person. Is this a FRANCK Manas? M. The fuck spells her name Frank like that? Frank. There's two Frank Manasians? Manas. How many Frank Manasians are there? Holy shit. Wait till you see this guy. This is ridiculous. Can you guys see your screen? This is going to blow you away. Saber, send your money. I need sponsors. Send your money, please. Look at this. This, my name is, I'll call you back in 2 minutes. This guy's name is Frank Manasian. That's an Armenian name. I can't tell if this is a real person or not. But look at him. That's me. I would never snatch like that. But look at that. This motherfucker looks like me. Oh my goodness. You see them? That's him. That's him right there, obviously. Holy shit. Oh, and what country is this guy from? This guy doesn't speak English. What a trip. Oh my. Holy shit.
J'espère que vous allez bien. C'est le dernier jour du confinement, aujourd'hui, dimanche 10 mai. Et demain, nous allons essayer de retrouver nos habitudes et de reprendre nos activités respectives. En tout cas,
Is that a trans athlete?
Petit training tous les jours. J'espère que ça vous a servi à vous maintenir en forme. Et que
I think I have that hat. This is fucking ridiculous. It's me from a fucking another holy shit, you guys. What's he doing in this picture? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is not my body though. I have that hair. That's it. Oh my God. It's me if I didn't brush my, that's what I would look like if I washed my hair. I'll follow this dude back. Holy shit. I'm tripping. This guy's sleeping in your backyard with Haley. Oh my God. Anyway, where was I? I'm so far behind on my DMs and shit. Yeah, we did. He does look. I bet you. I mean, dude, that is fucking weird. He's like Sevan, but 49er. That's Sevan if he was straight. If I didn't use coif my hair so much. Oh my goodness. All right. That's it. See you guys tomorrow. I can't imagine we're not doing something tonight. We're on such a compressed timeline. So maybe I'll see you guys tonight. All right. Thanks, everyone.